We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Here we go.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
He's checking. Crash. Shift.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
.47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Lions will take over.
At their own 29-yard line.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Let's go. Watch tight end. Tight right.
Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 31-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I'm coming after you.
2nd and 9 now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And that'll set them back 5.
Let's go.
Down. 18 Gator.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Go.
Check 42's the mark. Check 42's the mark. It's our time.
Down.
They'll set up a throw. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Credit to tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football, overtime, when you do it consistently, usually.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Alert 3, alert 3.
26.
Rodgers now to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 26-yard line.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And his throw is incomplete. Isaiah Crowell, the intended target. 3rd down here. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
He got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
21 yards. 1st down, Detroit.
Here we go. Set. 8, read.
Watch the out, watch the out.
They're going to look to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Rodgers. Completes it to Miller. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
58, come on. Focus, defense, focus. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Kill, 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 kill.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 33.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33.
Check the hot read. Whip, 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 whip. What?
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Hey, Mike.
Check the out. Stick down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
Get Mike. Pilot, 64, weak.
Throwing now is Rodgers. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end, Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Hey, 88.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Zadarius Smith just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Got him in. He finds Sanders. Give him 32 on the play. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff now to Crowell. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Crowell. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jair Alexander in from the corner to make the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground. I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Hey, check 26.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Bang! Bang, 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 bang.
Check, 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 check.
They'll run on first down. London. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I got it. Hey, take 26.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, London takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, London. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Packers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he finds Daniels. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Right now. You got 58.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score.
The game's locked up. Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Go to 50.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards...
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Jared Davis came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a give, right side. London. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. Setting up the screen for Miller. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Hey, 88.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Now they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Crowell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
3rd down.
Ready?
2, right 42. Come on. Come on.
Now back to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They'll keep it on the ground. London. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
You better be afraid of me. You can get him.
Now Rodgers. And Daniels has it over the middle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll try the left side. London. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here
we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Right back to him on 1st down. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
You can't get past me.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Rodgers. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Joker.
On 3rd down, London. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run it from the gun with Crowell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Second down and inches. And he will find his man on the outside. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Second and 6. Forced out to his left. And he's got it. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, his second touchdown on the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Hauschka with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it first and 10. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to find Equanimous St. Brown, but it's going to be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Rodgers throwing again. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line.
That's good for the Packers. First down. First and 10 at the 29.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10.
Check 4, check 50, check right. Flip again.
Say, check 99, check 99.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Jim. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Roll right.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Jump out!
58, boys, 58, 58, it's Mike.
Hey, Wahoo!
Hey, 58 is the Mike. Going 58 to the Mike.
Rodgers now to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 15. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. He was looking for Daniels that time. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Check 9, check 9. Back. Ready?
They begin with a run by Crowell. And some room to roam now. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
They keep it with Crowell on 1st. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check, 59. Pick it up, guys, pick it up.
2nd and 9 now. Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, but now it'll be 3rd down. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say that was a game-saving play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll drop the throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Preston Smith coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Not today.
On play action. Now Rodgers. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Rodgers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Drop deep, drop deep. Check 50, check 50.
They'll run on 1st down. Crowell, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 17-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it again to Crowell. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Crowell. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing is Rodgers. And he will find the open man as Jamon Moore. Less than 2 minutes to play. Down to the wire we go in a 1-point game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And they've got a fourth down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw, Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
He's back to throw. Now a desperation. It's caught inside the 25. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. London. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Strip that ball. Slam. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Now Rodgers. And Thomas has it. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Switch. Kill.
And to give this time to the tailback. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And his kick is indeed good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. The home crowd here absolutely loves it, as they should, getting the field goal in the closing moments and likely going to get out of here with a W.
A W, celebrations all around. How about how everyone's going to leave this stadium, right? And you know something? He probably makes more money than most of the 60,000 people here. but they're all willing to buy him dinner tonight, aren't they?
Oh, they don't care. He's a man of the people right now. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.